And what's going on, guys? Alright, we're going to jump into this. You might be day trading wrong, and you might have the wrong day trading psychology, and this is how we are going to fix it almost immediately. If you are a teacher, a noble profession, you're probably making $50,000 a year. A CPA, between $60,000 to $75,000. Law enforcement, about $60,000 to $75,000. Firemen, the same. Amazon drivers, making about $20 to $25, depending on your region. These are all jobs that are going to average you out to about $50,000 a year, which is average household income here in the United States. So I want to show you guys something on the charts. I'm going to show you how I do things here at Trade 1348. If you're an aspiring day trader, check it out at trade1348.com, and we have a trade here. This is NQ. Let me give you a guide here to what this trade is. We have established our risk as 1% of our portfolio, so our system said you're only going to risk $900. You guys see this trade at market open. I don't like to take market open trades, but this trade gave you a 6 to 1. That is $900, $650, $400 on the trade. And yeah, you just made a teacher's monthly salary in 25 minutes. So why am I explaining that to you? Trading's about efficiency. And when you start thinking about efficiency and teaching trading as an additional form of income, no different than your contribution to a 401k or a 503b, you build wealth over time, so when you retire, you're not a broke asshole. But most people end up broke assholes anyways, because they don't contribute enough and they don't understand the magic of compounding. You use your job to build wealth elsewhere. That's multiple streams of income. Here, you can keep your day job and then build income or build wealth efficiently in the markets. And as you can see, it doesn't really take a whole lot to make money here. Now, there are several lines here. This 0.31, this is an area where it will be most late for me to take the trade. So if the candle broke away from this, I'm probably not going to chase it. But ideally, you want to get an entry here. This one's at 18,329. And as you can see here, this green line, that is 18,312.50. This is a 1.5 to 1 reward risk ratio. What this means is for the $900 we risk, we made $450 in return. Now, that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but really what that is 1.5% return against risk. And that's where the magic happens. I want to show you guys this. It's really, really wild. Now, keep in mind, this trade did return over a 6 to 1. Let's assume we target 1.5 to 1 on all of our trades. In fact, let's assume we target 0.75. Let's assume we have $5,000 to throw into the market. And let's assume that we will risk 1% per trade. That means we're risking $50. For those who are asking, do I need a lot of money to become a day trader? The answer is no. $5,000 is reasonable as long as you stick to the 1% risk rule. So in this instance, $50. Now, if you manage to get a 0.75, what does this look like, guys? 0.75? Remember this green line here? That's your 1.5% return. Your 0.75 is somewhere here. That's really all you would need. But let's continue on. With this $5,000 risking at about 1% and just averaging out to 0.75% a day. Now 1.5, you build $1.7 million of wealth in 3 years. Now it's funny, I did a online trade camp, but someone said, can you rush that process? And in my mind, I'm like, what? No, you don't. When you're attempting to rush the process, you are attempting to take trades that aren't there. In this instance, I could say, all right, hey, we bottomed out. This has to reverse. I'm going to take that trade. No, that trade has not presented itself. In fact, we have a continuation to the downside or a consolidation right here. But this trade did give you a 6 to 1. We get an entry here, and let's see if we were able to hold to the current price. That's a risk to reward ratio of 5.29 in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes. Now this makes you insanely efficient. In this case, you risked $50 of your $5,000 port, you made $250. That's still more than what a teacher makes a day, what a Walmart employee makes a day, an Amazon driver makes a day, a police officer minus overtime makes a day, a firefighter makes a day. It's still a lot more, making you very, very, very efficient. Am I saying for you to quit your job to pursue day trading? No, I'm saying allow yourself to build the multiple streams of income so that in time you can amass the wealth of 1.7 million over the next 3 years, just targeting a 0.75 there, and then a portfolio of 1.75. If we are risking 1%, we're risking a measly $17,000 relative to our port size. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where you can then say it's time for me to quit my job, because what this would mean is if you risk 17,000, you would have made over $75,000 on that trade. You would have risked 17 to make $75,000. You would be highly efficient. So as a trader, you have to think about, am I efficient with my time? Am I efficient with my money? Or am I efficient with my expectations? Because you don't want to put that much pressure onto yourself and your portfolio, and we don't want to rush the journey. We have what's called a trailing stop here. I have a green band here, and this is telling me there's a potential pivot. Now what I'm looking at is my 48 here, and I'm looking for a trade design to the upside. As you can see, there was some exhaustion here, which means that the bears got exhausted, which means you should be out of the trade by now. As soon as you see this band, this go green, right? This signal here should be your exit signal. Right here, guys, we are in this trade, and for a couple of reasons. We have what's called the trade design down. We also have a decent entry point to come short. We broke below the 200, but as you guys can see, we have Titan Excel here, red, trending down, then went green eventually. Then we got a continuation to red here, along with our strength indicator, our RSI 3.0 strength indicator, trending down. And so what we're looking for is total confluence between our indicators here. So this candle's flickering gray, which this could lead to a candle that is a low probability candle, okay? We have what's called the trend band here, right? And so this is basically smoothed out price action. And then we have our trend here with Titan AI. Of course, now we have our strength here, and we have our trade design. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set my profit to a 1.5 to 1 right here. That's going to be my target right here, which also happens to be pretty much low of days here. We're going to go ahead and see how this trade develops. Now, I want you to pay attention to this here. This is Titan AI. This is our trailing stop. You're going to see it move. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to set my stop and move my stop with Titan AI right there. Yes, the trade is moving in my favor. The question is, are we going to bounce off of here as we have several times, or are we going to have a continuation? My best guess, based on color confluence to the downside with our red candle and our red strength, is that we will have an aggressive move down. How aggressive? It's hard to tell. However, we could see that we got our lows here at about the 1-to-1, right? With some structure, wick, and candle bodies here. So maybe my 1.5 to 1 is just a tad bit aggressive. I think I'll be a-okay securing profit here. Now, as it stands with my entry and my target, I don't truly have a 1-to-1 trade setup. So what's going to have to happen is going to have to manage my risk and my target. So my risk is now cut in half thanks to my trailing stop. Okay. My risk is now at or about cut in half. And so let's go ahead and see what this looks like. My risk to reward profile. This is everything, guys. Your risk to reward profile is everything. Let's go ahead and see what this comes out to. and we are targeting the structure below. This is a 2-to-1. This is a trade I'd be very grateful for. Now that we have a 2-to-1 trade set up, you guys could see here, up 65, 90, 200, got my fill, and we're done. Followed the trading system, followed the trade design, got out of chop. I hope you guys learned something. This is a very simple system that anybody can do as long as you wait patiently and look for confluence throughout the entire setup. Now I gotta go ahead and ask this guy how far along he's in the video, because this was a 2-part series. Hey, you doing good over there?
I'm 4 minutes in.
You know what? He needs his own camera. Applejack's needs his own camera again. Do you want the Applejack's camera?
Only if I get a ring.
No, fuck you. Peace!